Hello, my name is Kurt, and today I will be talking about evocation and invocation. Because, and I do apologize for the audio because it is windy and I can't really find privacy from either people or the wind today. So I'm like a witch hiding in the bushes. But yeah, I get a lot of messages of people asking me, Kurt, talk about the occult. Kurt, talk about sex magic. Talk about your experience with the supernatural, with the paranormal, all this stuff. And it's a very touchy topic. Like, there's some things you just can't share. When you're skimming the surface of the occult, it's like sex magic and stuff. You could say invocation, evocation, banishing, stuff like that. Stuff like that is powerful in itself already. Now, can you imagine the deep, deep, hidden occult things? Like, if any of you play the game The Wolf Among Us, you'll know this reference. Like, there's a girl that says these lips are sealed, because that's kind of like what it is like in real life. It's once you start sort of this path in life, you have to kind of know what to share, know what not to share. Because first of all, there's a plane. First of all, either people will think you're crazy, or they won't believe you, or some of this knowledge cannot be shared because it's way too powerful to be in everybody's hands. And if it gets into the wrong hands, then there'll be problems. Shit, it already is in the wrong hands. Like, I'm not gonna say like all this knowledge and information, all this stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna start with basic stuff: evocation, invocation. Now, I see a lot of confusion with this. Like, people don't really know the difference. They think it's kind of the same thing. Now, evocation is when you call something forth, like in front of you, when it's a manifestation that materializes or contacts you or whatever through, like, it's external. It's not within you. It's something that comes forth and interacts with you from external nature, whereas invocation is something interior. It's, technically speaking, you could consider it like possession or something. Like, you're allowing yourself or opening yourself up to deities or entities or what have you, whatever you're invoking, to kind of like speak through you and share knowledge with you and whatnot. And now, there's plenty of information online about evocation, invocation, so you guys could look it up. Like, you could, like, evocation would be like evoking the archangel Michael, or archangel Raphael or something, or Gabriel or Oriel, whatever, or evoking let's see, Zeus or something, like whatever you happen to believe in. But that's like when you evoke an angel, for example, it kind of interacts with you through an external nature. Like, you could either see a physical manifestation, or like it'll show you signs in the exterior world. Whereas if you invoke an archangel, then like you kind of become that entity, like, temporarily, and it like works through you, it heals you, and it like there's some people that could invoke a deity and then write a poem, or do art and stuff. Like, for example, like somebody with no artistic knowledge when it comes to painting or whatever. Like, I suck at drawing and painting and stuff, but if I were to find an entity that has that skill and I would evoke it, then I would become I don't know, either a decent or like a master artist for at least that amount of time. But then it gets tricky because you can't trust many entities or beings and whatnot. So yeah, like, what are the benefits? Well, evoking an angel helps cleanse the area, helps you with different things, banishings, whatnot. If there's evil energy or presences, whatever, it'll take care of that. Invoking is more like when you're in a tough situation and evocation really doesn't help, you could invoke it. Now, me being the kind of the moron that I am, I had a experience with both evoking and invoking uh, I really shouldn't share this, but a spiritual. I wouldn't consider it a succubus or whatever, but it was some sort of female entity. And it was funny because like at first I was evoking, trying to figure out what this entity is about or whatever, and then it's like one day I'm like, let me try something, so I invoked it, and then I completely didn't know what the hell like went on after that freaking moment. Like I could have literally like, I don't know, I could have literally like banged a jar of jam or something, like, and I wouldn't even know, you know. It's really weird. Like, it's not a type of like, how should I say it's very, like I said, this stuff is very tricky to share because it's something that a person has to experience. Like another person would say, oh, you know, like you were either like on a intoxicator or something, but like trust me, like I wasn't intoxicated. Like this was something that like just happened, and I got into it and whatever, and it's weird, but it was pretty funny. Like I woke up with like no recollection of what the hell went on, but I didn't do anything bad. Like it depends. Like that's why you have to really be careful like what you're messing with, because you know you evoke a freaking, you know, like a succubus or something, and then you know you kind of lose control of yourself, and then you go off and like banging random people on the street, or who the hell knows what could happen, and then freaking, you know, that's not a good idea. So this is why some of these things are not good to mess around with when you're a beginner. But you know, evocation, invocation is sort of like beginner. It's like the surface of the occult world and stuff. So you know, you could try evoking or invoking even good benevolent entities such as archangels or freaking Jesus, what have you. Like you could do whatever you want, really. Like the potential is unlimited. It's all by the power of your mind. So you know, if you're struggling with problems, or you know, whether relationship or financial or whatever, there's an angel or a deity that's benevolent that will help you out. But the thing is, with angelic entities and stuff like that, they take their time. Like they do it properly. Like it won't manifest instantly. With demonic entities and malevolent entities, things manifest like super quick, you know. Like you evoke a freaking, you know, this certain entity, whatever, and then you communicate with him, and then like you establish something, and then like it happens like quick, but in a very screwed up way. Like, you know, you could say, oh yeah, you know, that's just an exaggeration, but stuff like this does happen. Like let's say you evoke a negative entity to help you with relationship problems, right? Yes, it'll bring you, you know, like a super hot chick or whatever, but you know, you might end up getting raped, STDs, and freaking like a whole bunch of other situations, or like the way that you meet that woman is not necessarily good. Like you could be I'm struggling to think of proper examples because this stuff is like just way too like mind shifting, you know. Like this is why I do not recommend anybody to just go off there and just like start messing around with this stuff. I know there's a lot of people like interested in this type of knowledge and like power and all this stuff, but do it the right way. Work with angelic entities, whatever your belief system is. Like if you're a Buddhist, you could work with Buddhist deities and entities. If you're a Christian, Catholic, whatever, you could work with angels and stuff. When you're, you know, in other belief systems, you could do that. But just make sure you know what you're doing, and really question and test the entity, because like you never know. Like they're very tricky. You can't, like most of the time, like a lot of people can't see them physically, like physical appearance, and even if they do appear physically, these things are very tricky. They could take on the form of anything, and they could trick you in many different ways. So really, really take your time, question the entity, make sure that it's a benevolent one. You know, because when you first start evoking whatever, you get all these ideas, or like you'll get like inspiration or things leading you in certain ways, and you could write down stuff or whatever, and like it all seems great. You know, like you ask the entity like, oh, like, you know, like all this stuff, like you ask, oh, who will I meet like in 2 weeks from now or whatever, and it'll tell you accurately who you will meet. And then you could ask the entity's name, and it'll say like, oh yeah, you know, I'm Archangel frickin' I don't know, Archangel Charlie or some shit like that, right? And it's like, it's tricky. Like, you really can't trust. Like, you can't, like, honestly, like, you know how tricky it is to trust people in the physical realm of existence, where you could see them and you could interact with them and you could kind of like figure out their motives and their thoughts if you're good enough. Well, can you imagine something that's like not necessarily physical and like existing in a completely different dimension, and you're interacting with it and whatnot? So that's kind of just what I want to share. It's windy as hell, so I'm not gonna keep yapping, but I'll probably share a couple more things about basic stuff, but that this information is out there. Like, this isn't anything too complicated, but like I said, even with the simplest things, there's power within them, and you really have to be careful, you know? So find a prayer to Archangel Raphael or something, whatever, and do it with purity, because like technically speaking, like that could be tricky too, because somebody could write something down, whatever, like an invocation or evocation of an archangel, whatever, when they could really be a bad person themselves, for example, and they could get you screwed over because you're following their instructions and whatnot, and then you don't know what the hell you're doing, and you know, you could evoke or invoke something completely different. So do it with your own mind and your own willpower. That's what matters the most. Find like a prayer or whatever, and then like make your intention pure and clear. Like do it with honesty and earnesty, and make sure that you really put out that emotion and that feeling. Get excited, get riled up, get that energy flowing, and you know, make sure you project it forth towards don't have any doubts in your mind. Just say, I'm gonna summon or evoke or whatever Archangel Raphael, and that's it. You're done. You're gonna do it. You know, that's the kind of belief you have to have. So, you know, try working with these things. Like I like the benevolent side. I like the positive side of spirituality. Like, technically speaking, I could use my occult understanding, my occult knowledge to get laid by whoever I want, get as much, you know, anything pretty much in the physical realm is possible. It might take some time, but it's all possible if you know what you're doing. But like I said before, like the things from the physical world, like they don't really interest. Like if you're truly spiritual and you're on a spiritual path, you start kind of losing interest in physical things. Like I said, like, okay, I could bang like all these chicks and whatever, and I could get free freaking pizza, and I could get free, you know, I could be wealthy and all this stuff. But like, who cares, man? Like, honestly speaking, like this life is just so freaking short and complicated and whatever. Like, even if I'm wealthy, you know, that still wouldn't guarantee that I would be happy. Yes, I would have more opportunities. Yes, I could do whatever the hell I want. But is it really worth the price of like some stupid wealth in this physical realm, when you're screwing yourself over in different dimensions and different realms of existence? Not necessarily. Everything here that you do, like let's say, like the easiest example is a lot of people, you know, do this to get girls and all this stuff, or guys, whatever, love spells and all this crap. Well, think about it. you're shifting your reality to make these changes happen. And yeah, you'll get what you want, but it might not be the way you want it. And even if it is the way you want it, eventually you're going to move on from this realm of existence. So it's not really worth putting that amount of energy and time into anything. Do things in a positive nature. Ask for guidance. Use archangels and stuff. And be a good person. Share the peace. Share the love. And things will happen and manifest in your life on your own. Trust me, it happens to me all the time. You know, you work with demonic entities, you work with evil entities. Oh yeah, you feel all powerful. You think you have everything under your control. Well, you know, it's bogus, man. It's crap, because you don't have any real power. Like, the entities that you're working with, for example, of an evil nature, they're using you. Like, it's funny. Like, you think you're getting, you know, the good stuff, right? But they're living vicariously kind of through you, you know? So to really be careful. And like I said, go into this with a positive mindset. Do not, I repeat, do not evoke any freaking evil demons. Do not work with the Goetia. Do not work with any King Solomon stuff. Do not work with, do not even work with Enochian stuff yet. Enochian is kind of like angelic, you could say, but that's complicated. Like, start off with entities that are known. Like, you could use the Virgin Mary, use like stuff that's already established and you know that is safe. All right, and then you can move on to your own personal experience. You can move on and work with good things, you know. Let's see if I have anything else to add. I don't know. Just like I said. Well, now the wind's picking up. All right, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Enjoy the summer. Take it easy. The weather's kind of nice now. So, hope this helps. Look this stuff up, whatever. But use it from a positive nature, like I said, and things will manifest in your life very beautifully. You will find true love. You will find true happiness and financial security, whatever, you know. Like, that's all that matters. You may not be freaking a millionaire, but you will be rich. You will be stable. You will be whatever, and that's what matters. Would you rather have, you know, some chick that's like super like lusty or whatever that you got through demonic ways, and like, yeah, she's beautiful and yeah, she's like all this stuff, but in the end, that won't be your true love, because demons and evil entities will never, like, I don't want to say never, but will not manifest your love in a positive way. It will be always complicated one way or another. If you work with proper deities and you're a good person and you serve the greater good of this world and whatever, you will get your twin flame, your true love. None of this bogus crap, man. Like, none of this, you know, even if you get, like, use demonic forces to get, like I said, a decent relationship, whatever, it won't be, like, I don't want to say it won't be, I don't want to throw any possibilities out there, but it's just, trust me when I say this, like, I have plenty of experience in kind of both sides of the yin and yang, so to speak. So you always get better results from doing good things. Not always quick results, not always satisfying results immediately, but you always get the results best for you if you follow a good path. All right, so take it easy, and yeah, try figuring out some stuff, whatever. But like I said, if you're interested in the occult, whatever, you could try working with stuff like this first, and there's other things you could work with, but there's probably books I could recommend or whatever. But like I said, it's something that has to be experienced. You could read all the books in the world, and you'll still be a shitty occultist, you know? Like, it's something you have to live through. It's something you have to experiment with, and it's something you have to do. Like, that's why, like, I don't necessarily, you know, I say, like, follow the good path or whatever, But you know, it's kind of necessary to experience both things in life sometimes, you know. Like me, I just went like full out kind of nuts and like started experimenting with things of both realms and whatever, and I could, like I said, I lived through it, and I could tell you that it's best to just stay on the good side. I'm not trying to be like any type of freaking guru or like freaking modern day Jesus or whatever, or straying people away from true power or whatever. That's not necessarily it. Just, you'll find power in whatever path you choose in life if you go from it at a good angle. You'll get power if you follow demonic things or whatever, but it's temporary. Like I said, it's not your power, it's borrowed power, you know. So take it easy, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll make another video soon.